Alrighty, let's get this journey started. Gonna have some fun, do some new things out here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're just gonna get right into it.
Dear Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Alright. So just a little backstory, I guess. So I decided I'm gonna play this game because I tried out What Remains of Edith Finch, and it's an insane game. So I decided, why not? Let's play this one. And that's pretty much it. Can I zoom in? Oh, lovely. Did I say to Ryan? To right? Oh, Jesus Christ. There goes my very poor eyesight. Pretty useless. Oh, Jesus. Just a bunch of cans of paint. Oh, that's very windy. Is there any way I can run? No. What in the world? I have no idea where I'm going.
Those islands in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time, sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
What in the world is this? Markings? What in the world?
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Is that a car door? Alright, so I won't lie. I have no idea about what the heck he's talking about. Yogurt being sold off to the European market. I don't get it. But it sounds lovely, sounds wonderful. It really is quite a thing. So yeah, I guess, so yeah, this is definitely something very different from what I normally do on the channel, but like I said, a little backstory. Played What Remains of Edith Finch, and it was insanely immersive. It was very intriguing. And I don't know, I would say I got like about halfway, but this was on my cousin's console. And so I was like, alright, let's get into these kind of games. They sound, definitely they're very different from the normal craziness that I play. But I like it a lot. And I definitely do plan on getting Edith Finch and playing it and recording it for the channel. It's fun. This is going to be nothing groundbreaking to you two, but definitely, my experience playing these games is going to be fun. And I hope everybody just relaxes. We're in for a journey, and let's get it, alright? And yeah, welcome to the walking simulator. Because I know that is the big joke with all these games.
Reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight, he landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons.
I don't know if that narration is making fun of me as a player that I did not explore more before going up here. But I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, we'll just find out. Continue playing.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh. We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
I just have to admit something right off the get-go. I have no fucking idea what's going on or what this guy's talking about. I just want everybody to know that, so whoever is an experienced
Dear Esther,
player, I'm sorry.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
Okay. So this looks to be like some more craziness here. So is this paint or what is this? I really cannot. Did he say something of bioluminescence? Is this the yogurt? Are they throwing yogurt on the wall? I have no fucking idea what to do. What if I pause the game? Let's just get our bearings here. Touchpad does nothing. Okay, great. I believe that is where we came from. So why don't we just, I don't know, continue this way, I guess? Tell you what, this scenery, this music, lovely ambiance, lovely little setting for a nice monologue.
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish. The sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer, that we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and ribcage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
Wow. Oh, look, something. But to nothing. This poor guy must be exhausted from walking. Look at this little lovely area. I'm not sure what is happening. Oh, look. A loading screen. We've made it. Oh, lovely. Donnelly.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Whoa, okay, yeah, I was about to say, I ain't going crazy. So over there, is that a ghost? Look at over there at the left, that's insane. Oh, That's so insane, I still see it. Alright. Well. Here we are. I've yet to interact with anything, and I don't think I will be able to. I can't jump. I'm not gonna even bother to investigate much. Because I still feel like we need to get somewhere before we learn what to do.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean.
Oh.
Into oblivion.
Something, nor drink. They, oh boy, eat nor drink. He eats nor drink. Someone's, I read, neither did he eat nor drink. Now what did that first word is? Beats me. Something neither did he eat nor drink. Okay. Good enough for me. Are we supposed to be going over there? I feel like that is a very obvious area to go to. So shall we make our way closer? Can I fall down there? Ah!
I had
What?
kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Alright, I'm gonna have to title this video "Do Not Watch" unless you just want to watch a dude walk for half hour.
When I first looked into the shaft, I swear
Oi.
I felt the stones in my stomach shift in recognition.
The stones shift in recognition. So if I fall down there, is that like GG's or? Oh, I think we're getting somewhere, my friends. Well, anyways, I just want to say one thing. I hope this game is not booty. And I'm not judging. Listen, things need to develop. But I could just say, oh, Jesus.
I've begun to climb,
Here comes the
away
choir.
from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the
Oh.
evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence.
Oh, lovely.
The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
What? This man sure has a way with words, I'll tell you that much. If I was Esther, I'd be all over this man. But anyways, as I was saying, very excited to try out similar games.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it.
What?
There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
So, I'm not following very much, but what I got is that Donnelly died because he messed around with some goats, and they're carving those white lines to the side of the mountains to lead people.
Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
Change of clothes. Oh, Lord. Well, we're almost there, my friends. Okay, looks like the same building as the one we looked at. Alright, let's just come this way for the love of everything good. Arrows. Newspapers. You gotta be kidding me. These little tiny rocks are gonna keep me from getting up there. Oh, lovely. Oh, great. So I'm already doing something wrong is what's happening. Oh, there we go. I see the cave. All right, I got it. Now we're getting somewhere. But why? This can't be the right way. I really don't believe this is the right way. What could possibly be down there, huh? Oh my goodness.
Come back.
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, that's lovely. I meant to do that.
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
Am I honestly supposed to know what the hell he's going on about? Calcified
They
sea.
found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body
Oh,
had been
Jesus.
frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose.
Wow.
His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Okay, wow, it's quite a way to go.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg.
Huh.
I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
What in the world? Oh no! Wow. Jakobsen. Well, that was quite the thing.
From here, this last time, I have understood there is no turning back. The torch is failing along with my resolve. I can hear the singing of the sea creatures from the passages above me, and they are promising the return of the gulls.
Wow. Alright. Well, it looks like we finally made it somewhere, so we'll end it right here, and we'll be back on this lovely journey. And we'll have the flame keep us warm. To the next one, my friends.